Well,
Well, we're back
after 2 months.
after 2
It's been
months.
2 long months.
Yes,
2 long months. A lot has happened in 2 long months.
a lot has happened, y'all. Like, a lot has happened. Where do we even start?
I don't even know where we left off at on the podcast. I forgot what we was talking about.
I honestly don't remember.
No, but
And
if
we do
you,
go back and listen to our own videos. I just don't remember. I think it
yeah.
was like being in God's will, I
Oh yeah,
believe.
that's right. Yeah, being in God's will.
And
Mm.
timing and everything. And y'all, it's just been a long. Let me just it's been long. It's been long, y'all. It's been long. If we have to take like a little pause in there, break, it's because we might have to grab Ari and I might have to nurse her like we did the last video or the video before that. Yeah, I just know how it worked with having kids. you know.
So,
So,
welcome back to Pillow Talk.
welcome back. Welcome back.
I don't even know where to begin. Let's just talk. Let's just chat and catch up. Um, let you guys know exactly where we've been. Um,
Yeah. And the wonderful revelation that we got today when we were driving, that was really good.
um,
That was really good.
let me tell you something. When God puts you through a test, it's like it don't nothing makes sense. So it's like God's not even there.
It
Even
doesn't seem like it anyway.
even for me for the past year, it's been a hard journey. The hardest journey of my life, anyways. And
I feel like it's funny because last year we were like, I ain't seen nothing like this. But this year,
yeah,
oh baby, I ain't seen nothing like this. I
yeah,
have not seen anything like it. I can definitely agree with him when he says that this has been the roughest, toughest, longest, not I'm not even gonna say not stressed because in some moments I have been stressed, but very stretched.
mm-hmm.
Um, had some days where we enjoy the journey and some days that we don't, just being completely honest.
Right.
But I'm sorry. I'm
That's when
just agreeing with you.
the endurance kicks in. You
Yeah.
just gotta keep pushing on day by day,
hmm
regardless how you feel.
And keep your faith alive because I feel like that's an important piece to it too. Um, as long as you, I'm not gonna say as long as you have faith, but having faith certainly helps because it gives you that extra oomph, that extra push. Like, okay,
Oh yeah, most definitely.
I feel like I can keep going on because I know that God is gonna make it all right. I
Some
know.
things to hope for. That you're not just not.
Yes. You can't see it, but you can hope for it. I feel like faith has been my biggest thing. It's been one of my strengths. Like God has been my strength, but having faith has been another strength because it's like, okay, I get that extra push. Like as long as I got faith, like I can't see it right now, but I can definitely see myself on the other side.
Yeah.
I know eventually we're gonna come out. It's just the not knowing when is the frustrating part. But having faith has kept me a lot of these days because I'm just like, Lord, I don't know when you're gonna do it. I don't know how you're gonna do it. I don't even see the ending result at this point.
Yeah.
But my faith says that you're going to bring me out eventually. And even if you don't right now, you're still good and you're still God.
Yeah.
So having that attitude too
And
helps.
when it's kind of in our situation, I feel like uh when your faith is under attack, and
Mm-hmm.
that's when it's like the enemy wants to make you quit.
We've
He
had
wants
a
you
lot
to.
of
He wants you
those.
to quit. He wants you to quit everything. He wants you to walk away from God. He wants you to walk away from everything that's going on in life. He'll present something good that you really want, but it's really not God. And sometimes the timing of it will get you out of place
As a
with God.
distraction.
Yeah. Which if it puts you out of place, then it's gonna pull you away from God.
We've had a lot of those moments too in this season where the enemy has presented himself, or presented like distractions to us, and it made us want to quit YouTube. Like we've had plenty of opportunities to record, y'all. When I say it's just like we have been exhausted, and it's just like little things that we notice, little things that we see, little things that we're up against. It's like, I can't record today. But I told him the longer that we go without recording, we're not being obedient to God, because we know for a fact that we should be doing pillow talk.
Yeah, this gives us. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
It gives us that time to reflect.
Yeah.
Just to reflect on what's going on around us, and it's just sometimes it brings us awareness, and it makes you think a little bit wiser on different situations that happen.
Some time to think about it, especially when our kids are down. I told them I literally love our children. Of course, we're thankful for what God blessed us with, of course. But these are the moments that I look forward with him the most, because we're able to, and kind of like, okay, so let's talk about the day, or let's talk about what we've, went through, or like we have moments in here where we just reflect in general, or we just laughing in the bed and we just talking, or we have moments where we turn the TV off and we're just talking in the dark and really like he said, like really reflecting. So yeah.
It helps us personally and together as a unit to be able to express how we feel about certain things and certain situations. So
excuse me.
It's very open time that we need to be doing. So
glad to be back, y'all. Glad to be glad to be back. And this opens up doors and opportunities for God to speak to, because we're not distracted right now. We're focused, like we're in tune, so moments like these are very necessary, especially for us, y'all. I'm telling you, our days, like when our kids get up, we already on 1,000. So, by the time we're trying to reflect, in the middle part of the day, we really can't, because we got to worry about, getting them here, getting them there, getting them lunch, who's crying and who's arguing and who's falling out and who doesn't this and that. Is a whole bunch of distractions. But but let's just catch them up on where we've been.
Yeah. Past 2 months since what was it, June? I believe it was June.
What are we in? September now?
We're in September, so we skipped August and July.
So definitely June was the last time that we probably uploaded.
Yep. And a lot has happened since June. For one, Jay got conceived. She was pregnant. Of course, it was from me. That's it, right?
Yes. You said Jay got conceived, like Pop got her pregnant.
Yeah. Wow. Somebody's alarm is going off.
I hope it does not wake my baby up, y'all.
Exactly. My God.
See, you know what I'm saying? Distractions. See what I'm saying? Little distractions. Thank you for turning it off.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Okay, come back.
Maybe lose where I'm about to be at. Well, yeah, I was talking about.
I conceived.
Yep, she was pregnant. Found out she was pregnant for about 2 months. It would have been 2 months at the time. But my first appointment that we went to, The doctors were saying they couldn't find a heartbeat, and
that the baby wasn't. Well, the baby stopped growing at 6 weeks.
yeah,
But I was supposed to be like
12
months.
weeks, 12 weeks,
12 to
12 to 13.
You were right, 12 to 14, 12 to 13, one of those. I'm supposed to be
Yeah,
around that area. So I told him I was gonna try to talk about this without crying, but I just feel like I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, y'all, to talk about it without crying. I've been doing a lot better with not crying about it lately. But that second appointment, so him and the kids came with me that first appointment, right?
mm-hmm.
And around that time when you're getting your first ultrasound, you're all excited, like I get to see the baby and
It's supposed to
things.
be great news.
Right, it's supposed to be great news. And we had our kids in there, so we're like, oh my gosh, she's gonna be big brother and big sister, like a whole family moment. But it literally turned out to be not so much of a great experience altogether. Like it was just like I just kind of could tell with like the ultrasound tech, the sonographer.
Yeah,
I think I said that right, y'all. I could just kind of tell like her face, she was just like, I'm not really seeing any blood flow. I'm not really seeing a heartbeat. And I know that it's normal to not, with some people, sometimes it's normal to not hear a heartbeat at 6 weeks. So that's perfectly normal. But I don't know. It was just her, like her demeanor at the time. And she didn't have an attitude or anything. It was just,
unsure.
yeah. And it was just kind of like, oh man, like I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Mm-hmm.
So doctor updated us with that. We left that appointment. I think I actually cried.
Yeah,
I think I got out. Well, we went outside and I got back in the car and I just cried because I'm like, I just feel like something's wrong. I feel pregnant. I feel, the baby and everything like that, but
not again.
not again. Right. Oh, by the way, this is my second miscarriage because they don't know about the first. I don't think I've ever shared that. I had a miscarriage right before Ari. And then now, this miscarriage that happened 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
So fast forwarding to the second appointment, I just told him I didn't even want him to go because I just, of course we have faith. We were praying and things, all things are well. I had people touching and agreeing with me. I had my prayer warriors and intercessors on standby on deck, y'all. They was coming through for me. But I don't know. That's just not what God wanted. I went to the second appointment and it was the same thing. Baby still isn't showing any signs of growth, no blood flow. And so they're testing like my blood levels, and they're like, the first appointment, my blood levels were like 100,000, super high. Second appointments, it kind of went down just a little bit, but not too much to say that it was like a miscarriage or anything yet. But fast forwarding, it ended up being a miscarriage, and I had to go through like that whole process and everything like that. And it was tough, y'all. It was like some days when people would ask me, how are you? I would just like break down.
Mm-hmm.
I would just break down because I'm just like, I don't know how to feel. Like this time was a little bit more traumatic. I feel like, with the pain intensity
Because it was no before you went through the process
I was in the hospital.
it.
It
There
was
was
the day
no,
after my birthday. You remember that?
yeah. No, I'm saying like there was no pain or no signs of a miscarriage. We
The
didn't.
first one, well, I was in pain. I told you I
Not
was.
that one.
Oh,
I'm
the
talking about
second
the second
one.
one.
Oh
Now
yeah, yeah,
there
yeah.
was no sign because we went in there
I
the
told
first
you.
appointment,
Yeah, I
like,
was like feeling super pregnant, y'all.
yeah,
I was
everything
really
was
feeling
okay.
pregnant. Yeah.
And it's just like, what happened in my head? What could possibly happen? I know when I think in science they talk about what can hinder a miscarriage is like the XY chromosome, you can get too many of those or not
Yeah,
enough.
she said it was a chromosomal.
Yeah. So,
thing.
but at the same time, spiritually, what I want to say, it's like, all right, God, what? Like, like you're our God, you're our creator. So, God, like, why is this happening to us? Like, why do we have to go through this?
Like you said, I wouldn't lose another one,
Like, what? For us, it's like we didn't have it. Like, we feel like we did it right. Like, we didn't have babies until we got married. And like for that,
no judgment on anybody that had children out of wedlock. We're just speaking personally for us,
right? It's like that's just a question. Like
we do what we're supposed to do. We live a holy. We try to live a holy and a righteous life.
Yeah.
We stay in our own lane. We don't try to cross anybody's path the wrong way. We don't try to do the wrong things.
What's the reason behind it? That's what I want to know. And it's like when you're already going through a whole lot through life, and then that happens. I can say that it was like a wake up call because it's like you had to change the perspective on things in life. Everything is a lot different than what you think.
Yeah, we had a meeting with our pastor, and that was one of the things that he brought up, perspective. And it really kind of like shifted some things in us. Even before he said it, because we were already talking about, just changing our viewpoint on it and trying not to look completely through like a negative lens of it, or not so much of the why this and why that, but that God does all things well.
Yeah.
And he has a plan, and he knows better than we do. So I'm not even going to try to make sense of it right now and think of what he even has planned, because
I
can't like put pieces together because my mind will go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But yeah, it's something that we had to work through and get through. And a lot of people think that it affects like the mom that's going through it, and it does, because it's our bodies, but it really affects the dad too. In their emotions. And I'll just kind of let you hit a little bit.
Yeah. So for me, I was already going through a lot personally. And after that happened, it was just like boom. I got like a revelation of everything that's been happening for the past year. And I don't know when it happened last year, but it was just like all joy of me just left. It's like you have moments where you're just like laughing, but it's like humility. That's that emotion that's just like help you get by stuff. But it's like when joy is gone, you're still not satisfied with stuff like life.
Right.
And it took me a while, and it was crazy because for some reason, Inside Out, that movie, that
if you have not seen that, by the way,
that was our first year. This is like our first year actually seeing the first movie and the second one, and it's crazy how the second one came out the same year that we first seen it, and then all this happened to me at the same time. But I still didn't. I didn't even get it yet after I saw the movie, but it just made me realize what was going on. But a whole year, it was like joy left me, and at that point, it made me realize how, like, all right, last year I quit my job, and I'm starting school where I don't like. Now I got to go through this. I got to go through this. He
really doesn't like school
without joy, and it's like hard because I want to quit right now. I'm like, I got one more semester left. But joy left, and then I have to deal with all these other emotions, and I don't know.
On top of functioning as a husband, as a father, as a ministry worker in other areas.
There was, I think the biggest battle for me was church, because for me, whenever I do stuff, whenever I'm like doing stuff, I have joy with me, and that helps me get through a lot of stuff, because I'm always joyful to do things for people, or serve for anybody. And church was really tough on me. That's where the test of faith came, because I wanted to walk away from there. I didn't want to go to church. I didn't want to pray. I didn't want to do nothing.
Ooh, that was a tough
I didn't want to do
season.
nothing.
Oh, that was hard. And the crazy part is nobody knew what we was going through.
No.
Nobody knew what we were
And
feeling. Nobody knew what he was feeling. Nobody knew all the many nights. Well, of course, nobody's gonna know, but you get what I'm saying. Like, nobody knew all the many nights I had to grab the oil and cover him in prayer and hold him some nights and wipe some tears. And
yeah, there was days she was just like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "I don't know. I physically couldn't tell you, because I just felt so down. I wouldn't even say I was depressed. It was just like I had like nothing there to get me up, to get going. And all that happened, me going to start med school, quitting now, I don't have a way to provide. Like, I don't have a main source to provide for my family. And
I don't think I was still working at the time
yeah, he
either,
wasn't
because I
working.
was at
We
home
just
with.
bought a home early in the year.
And it was about to have a baby.
About having a baby. Well, we just had a baby when I quit the job, so it was a lot going on, and
I was at peace with it though.
yeah.
When you finally, because I would have dreams of him coming home. You remember I told you that? Of him coming home and just saying, I'm like, why are you home early? He'll just be like, I quit today. And I just woke up from the dreams like with so much peace. And when he finally told me and we had this conversation again, the times before you told me, I was like, I don't know, babe. Like, I don't think it's the right time. But this last time he finally came and told me, I was like, okay, like I trust God. Like I know God is gonna get us through. It's hard, but
Yeah, I think what helped me know that I was on the right track, and was when I took my 2 weeks notice to my boss, and
his response to that.
his response was, "You know what? This is the best thing you could have done, because they wasn't promoting you." And I was like their go-to guy for like everything in the position, because I trained everybody in that position that came in. I've got people promoted in that position over me, which is crazy, but so that gave me a little confidence in God. And ever since then, up until the point where we had a miscarriage, I was so frustrated. And then I think probably weeks after.
I think a lot of that stemmed too. Remember, you had somebody come to you and call you a quitter.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, let's turn this car back around. I stay on go for my family out, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Joy did not return weeks later after we had a miscarriage. And it's crazy. That I knew when it happened, because it didn't even happen. It didn't happen at church. It didn't happen on the altar or something like that. It just happened when I woke up one morning, and it was just like how the Bible said it in the scripture. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning. It happened just exactly like that. Joy came because when I woke up, I hopped up so fast with I just knew, like, when something's been gone from you a long time, and you finally find it, or it finally comes back, it's like a breath of fresh air.
And I could tell a difference in him too. I'm like, you woke up on the right side of the bed today. Like, not saying he woke up any other time like depressed or anything, but I could just tell a difference in his his attitude, his demeanor, his everything, you know.
So it was like I said, it was like a test of faith, because my faith was really under test, because I didn't have the joy of the Lord that was taken. I feel like that has helped me a lot. Now it gave me a lot of wisdom and knowledge on how to navigate through life situations and things that happen, how to deal with different emotions, and how to respond without because when you have joy, it's like, oh yeah, I'll push through it with joy. But when joy is not there, you gotta, okay, that's how it is. But
I can keep going even though I don't feel like it today.
I'd say, when faith is something that you gotta have when it comes to your walk in Christ. With your walk in Christ, faith is something you gotta have, because it keeps you to keep going in life, and to
And you literally, and I know the Bible says, all you need to do is have faith as small as a mustard seed. Y'all, a mustard seed is like so tiny, like just itty bitty. But I'm telling you, your faith has to go from faith to faith, literally from faith to faith. Okay, so once I done seen God come through for me on this level in whatever capacity it is, okay, now it got to go bigger. Because what was presented last season may not be presented this season. So you literally have to go from faith to faith. Each time my faith needs to go higher. Each time my faith needs to grow. Each time my faith needs to grow bigger and bigger and bigger, needs to elevate. So I'm telling you, the faith we had last season, we can't have this season, because it's got to be bigger. Like God is wanting to prove himself to us in a different way. He wants to show himself in a different way. And I can't look at him the way that I looked at him last season, or where I last saw him, or where I last experienced him. It's got to grow from faith to faith, y'all. And it's hard. Like, having faith is not easy. Having faith is not easy. I still people joke with us all the time, and they say, I have not met anybody whose faith is as big as you and Rico's. And I'm just like, I don't know. It takes, even we're not perfect. Sometimes it's like, Lord, we got faith. And the other times it's like in the back of our heads, we always kind of got that thought that's like, okay, is God really going to come through?
Though division tarry, wait on it.
But yeah, it grows from faith to faith. We can't afford to see God where we saw him, or we can't afford to be stuck in the last place that God was with us. He all the way up there, and we still back here. He waiting for us to go from that faith to this one. So, yeah.
Gotta be faithful. Gotta stay faithful. Regardless of what's going on around you. It ain't gonna make sense. It's never gonna make sense. But
it still doesn't make sense to me, y'all. It still does not make sense to me.
You gotta have endurance. You just gotta keep pushing. You gotta have endurance to help you get through life. And endurance it can be tough sometimes, because it's like, honestly, in endurance, what helps you keep going is the strength of the Lord, because you're at your weakest. That's where God is allowed to do his
what
best.
he needs to do.
His best work.
When
we're weak, we're actually strong, because it opens up the door for God to do what he needs to do. And you have to be aware, and you have to be prayerful and what's going on around you and surroundings. Don't get distracted. distractions can be, the enemy will allow you to, he want to present something good to you that you really, really want, but it's not God. And it'll be
That literally just hit me. That
it'll
was
be
so good.
it'll be
Oh,
it'll be
wow.
something you really, really want, but it ain't in God's timing. And it'll make you walk away from God.
Yeah, this is not rehearsed.
And it's like,
because
what?
Just that spoke volumes to me. Because I've been in this space, like, even since the miscarriage, like, dang, I'm getting emotional. Why you do that to me?
What?
Dang. I tried to tell him I wasn't gonna try to cry, but it just hit me like a ton of bricks when he said that, because we were talking about, getting pregnant again. This time wasn't planned at all. I mean, but then again, we weren't taking precaution either. I mean, but it literally just hit me like a ton of bricks, because you can really want something so bad, and God is just like, no, not yet. But you're thinking that he forsook you. Y'all know what I'm trying to say.
He'll never forsake. It's just like,
I'm saying, like, you will think that he's not,
listening.
like he's forgotten about
Oh,
you, or he doesn't care, or he's like throwing you to the side. I literally had a point, y'all, after the miscarriage, where I just didn't want to read my Bible. I didn't want to pray. Like, and I know that's where the enemy fights me the hardest. Like, when it's time for me to pray. When it's time for me to pray, we get up. What we got up the other night at 3:00 in the morning. He's in the living room on his knees praying, and I'm, on my knees praying right here at the bed, and I'm just like, God, what do I pray? Like, I just got stuck. And he knows me. I'm a prayer warrior. I will pray heaven down. But these last few times, I could not find it in me to, push through, because I felt like God let me down. I feel like he left me hanging. But again, going back to what my pastor said, it's all about perspective and how you view things. And no, God didn't let me down. He's still going to allow us to have more kids. He's still going to allow me to conceive again. It's just not right now. And that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible God, because he said no. Yeah. What parent is going to always say yes to their children? Say if Chance came up to me, he come up to us 24/7. Mommy, Daddy, I want cookies. I want cookies. I want cookies. But it's before dinner time. Mm-hmm. No. It doesn't mean that he's not ever going to get a cookie.
Right.
But you just can't get one right now, because it's not the right time. Mm-hmm. You're going to mess up your appetite before you get your dinner. No. So that literally hit me like a ton of bricks, because I really felt like God let me down, y'all. And this is just the real side of me, like the flesh side of me. Yeah. I really felt like God let me down. Now, I don't feel like that. But at that point, I was really hurt, y'all. I cried so much. And I still have my moments, where I cry, and I'll talk to him and be like, okay, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, or I don't know how to feel, or dag, this really bothered me today, or I don't know. Like, first of all, grief is tricky. You just never know when it's going to hit you. And your healing is your healing. Whenever it's time for you to, move past that, you will. But that really blessed me, Rico. That was good. Yeah. You could have told me that off the camera, Dad. That we should really end it right here, because that's a reflection moment.
I'm gonna end it on this one last thing, which was today, which maybe will make us realize in life. It was raining. Of course, it was a hurricane that came through, but we got side effects of it. Mm-hmm. Which is crazy. How do you get the side effects of a storm? Somebody else's storm.
Y'all, this man be preaching. He be talking. He really be talking.
But on the highway to Wilson, and it was crazy. Like, you see people pulling over on the side of the road. It's pouring down. I'm like, it ain't letting up no time soon. and
This is good to me.
you're going down the road. And of course, we get the flood watch warning, which came up, and we can see it flooding in different parts of the highways. And then by the time we get to Wilson, we take the back way. We're like, all right, we're gonna take it this way because highways just too much.
Mm-hmm.
So we took that back way, and then we get up to one part in Wilson where we know it's like it's gonna be really flooding there. So we're gonna take a detour.
Right.
We're gonna take a detour. We take a detour, go a way that is like, all right, it cannot possibly be flooding this way.
Right.
It cannot.
I've never seen this happen over here in this area before.
We started going that way, and next thing you know, the water is way higher than the path that we should have just stayed on.
I mean, y'all, my little Elantra couldn't stand a chance, baby. She was swimming. I was scared, y'all. Like scared for me and my kids' life because I'm like, Lord, is this water gonna come through the car?
I was like, I should have just.
I'm like, babe, why did you go this way?
I was like, I should have just stayed that way. And it's funny, you don't even realize. You only realize you should have stayed until you how am I gonna say this? It's like we didn't realize it until we're
going through that.
Like the way that we should have went is the way we went back home. Like if we would have just we wouldn't even went through any water if we would have just.
And it took us double the time to get to where we were trying to go.
It took us way longer where we should, because I kept trying to. All right, I got to turn down this road because too much water that way. Now I got to turn it way. Right. But if I would have just stayed on the course that I should have just went the whole time, I would have been there.
But because of doubt and worry and anxiety that wasn't even supposed to be there, we took away that wasn't intended for us to take in the first place.
So that just tells you, like, stay the course in life. Like, stay the course with God, regardless of what you think, because it's not your thoughts. It's not.
No matter how you feel, stay the course.
It's not going to make sense.
No matter what it looks like, stay the course.
Yeah.
Stay the course.
All right.
That's going to be the title of this video. Stay the course.
Yeah.
Stay the course. You have literally just preached to me. Like, I don't think you understand how much I needed that. I really needed that. I really needed it. Y'all, this was not rehearsed. We didn't. As a matter of fact, before we even started the camera, we was like, I said, what are we going to talk about? All I knew was that we were supposed to record. Didn't I say that? We should record for Pillow Talk tonight because the kids went down super early without problems.
Yep.
Perfect time. I didn't even know what the discussion was going to be. Nothing. Yeah. Stay the course.
Stay the course. So, if you guys enjoyed this video, I hope you guys have. Give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and be back to watch our next video.
Yes, guys. And on top of that subscribe button, on the side of the subscribe button, actually make sure you hit the notification bell because we want you to be notified each and every time we upload a video. We are so sorry.
It's been this long.
It has been this long. But
life happens, so.
Life happens and life throws little curveballs. So we love you guys.
We love you guys.
We will see you in the next video of Pillow Talk.